Welcome to the Northwest Sports Report, your home for your Northwest news. And now your host, Joshua Ngo. Welcome to the Northwest. Joshua Ngo here to give you another edition of the Northwest Sports Report podcast. In this episode, it's going to be jam-packed with a whole new segment, plus a introduction to a new football league that you might want to look in. Plus, the main story of who should be the Seahawks Offensive coordinator. Make sure to, before we start, make sure to subscribe to my channel at Northwest Sports Report. And you can leave a message here on the podcast at anchor.fm/NW Sports Pod. That is NW Sports Pod. And your message could be featured on the show. Maybe you could send a message who you think should be the Seahawks offensive corner or any other opinions that you want to share on this podcast. So we're going to begin with the Seahawks offensive coordinator job. So there's a bunch of candidates that we could pick from to be our Seahawks offensive coordinator. But I think there's about three big options plus a sleeper pick that could actually sneak in as our offensive coordinator job. So we're going to begin with the 3 picks, which is all the head coaches. The Eagles head coach, Doug Peterson, which can't get a head coach anymore because the only head coaching jobs available left are Eagles, which is the team that fired him, and Houston, which is not looking good so far. Plus, they probably want to deal with the Deshaun Watson stuff first. So he could be a good fit. He could help Russell Wilson as he was able to help Carson Wentz in 2017, not 2020. Oh, gosh, 2020 for the Eagles, man. But he likes to run, which what Pete Carroll wants to do. And he likes the 2 tight end offense as well, and he's a great play caller. So, I mean, if he can work the way he did back in 2017, in which he helped Carson Wentz and Nick Foles, I think he could be the perfect fit for the offensive coordinator. Now, our 2 other options is Chargers. And our next option is the Chargers head coach, Anthony Lynn. So, Anthony Lynn I don't know much about him, but I think he's good. I just feel maybe the time management, if he calls the plays, it might not be good because he had some problems with time management. But he did also, I feel like the Chargers, I think, were a really good team. I just think they just lose the very close games. Like, if they won every single close game, I think they could have reached a conference championship. It's just all about that time management to end the game. Justin Herbert's a great quarterback, and he had a great defense that stopped the Raiders for the upset at the end of the season. So, I think he could be a good fit, as he also helped with Justin Herbert. If he could do that with Russell Wilson as well. And he knows how to deal with a very good running back in Austin Eckler. And if he comes to Seattle, he can help Chris Carson as well. I don't think he might be good with the play calling, but we will see. And now our final big offensive coordinator option, that's not the sleeper I chose, is Adam Gase, which I think is the least likely option to happen. Well, I don't want it to happen, and I feel it shouldn't happen. But they did talk to him yesterday. But I mean, you've seen the Jets. Very, very bad. When we beat the Jets last season, it was just like when I watched the game, it was like, oh, it's just like an XFL team really against an NFL squad, and we were just like, okay. We could have just played a preseason. We could have just done a preseason game where we just where we just call the play, where we just make a list of the plays we do beforehand, and we still would have beat the Jets. We just put the second stringers in, and they still did good against the Jets. I mean, yeah. Plus, I don't want to deal with because there's this thing where usually when people come out of Adam Gase's coaching, they do really good. We don't want to be the team that sucks, but I mean they do have really good wide receivers, but anywhere else in the offense is just not looking good for Adam Gase. I don't want Adam Gase to be our offensive coordinator, but I mean we do need an offensive coordinator, and if Anthony or if any of our if there isn't any other good option, then we'll have to take him, which, as a Seahawks fan, I do not want to happen. Mostly everyone in the city of Seattle. And now my sleeper pick is going to be Pep Hamilton. Okay, I don't think you've heard of him. Let me talk about him. So he's the Chargers. He right now is the Chargers quarterback coach, which means he coaches only the quarterback, Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert. So, and that is why his coaching made Justin Herbert good. He's also has worked the team as he was head coach and general manager of the DC Defenders in XFL, and has worked with very good quarterbacks with Andrew Luck, which could have been a good quarterback, but he retired early based on injuries. Dolphins quarterback Chad Pennington and Jay Cutler. So, a lot of good work he's done with very good quarterbacks, which is why he's my sleeper pick for the offensive coordinator job. And since he's not one of the big jobs, I don't know anything else except he's worked for those guys. But I think if he can do that with Andrew Luck to be that good, and Justin Herbert as a rookie, I think the Seahawks should pick them up over as offensive coordinator. I mean, I think there's flaws with all the other head coaches, which is why they were fired. So, Pep Hamilton, I think deserves an offensive coordinator job, even a head coach job. But I think he should go up the ladder one at a time. That next step should be that Seahawks offensive coordinator job. Now, let's talk about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That is ANCHOR.fm FCFOR.FM to get started. And now, let me introduce you to a new football league that I think you will like. Sorry. It's not Seattle-based or anywhere along the Pacific Northwest. It actually is not in any city, but two of the four teams, yes, it's only a 4-team league, is owned by one of them is owned by Richard Sherman, and another one is owned by Marshawn Lynch. There's also another team that is owned by Austin Eckler. So, what is this league? If you saw the title, it is the FCF, which is the which means fan-controlled football. So basically, this is a league that fans can actually control, quotation marks, the league by voting. So they can make all the they can pick the rules, can draft players, and they can vote on what plays and what players play on that game. As of this recording, you can vote on what the playoffs format will be like, either just a simple 1v4, 2v3, a ladder system, 3 plays 4, winner plays on 2, winner plays on 1 seed, or the 1 seed fans pick their opponent, and it's just simple winners play in the championship game. So it's a fun league that you'll be able to vote on everything, including rules right now like 1 foot or 2 foot. It's a shorter field with only 7 players on the field at a time. So I think you should check that out. It's not #not sponsored at FCF.io if I got their link correctly. That'll be a quick introduction for it. Hopefully I will give you more updates around the FCF, but it starts in February. They're already in training camp. But they don't even know most of the rules yet. So go check it out and leave a message on how it was. It's still in the early stage. Season hasn't started yet. They haven't got most of the stuff down, but they do have the logos and the jerseys. And once you sign up with an account, you can vote. The more you vote, the more later on you'll actually be able to, the more voting power your vote will have. So start now so you can have more voting power on what your team does. The team I chose was the one owned by Richard Sherman. It's called the Arctic thing. So sign up for that. Leave a message on how it was, and we'll see more and I'll update everything that happens here and on National News Breakdown. So now finally, for the last segment of the day, we're starting a new 100 episode series. So for about the next 100 episodes, next 50 weeks, we're going to add the best number segment. So we're going from 0 to 99, and I'm going to be telling you my opinion on the best players from 0 all the way to 99. Again, these things change, so more players will probably add on as we get there, but we'll start with number 0. So we're going to count 0/00. I have 3 candidates, and then I will give you my pick. So first off, before I reveal the candidates, 0 was banned in the NFL in 1973, so there's not a lot of NFL people. The only people that could pick from that was before 1973, but most of the number 0 players come from the NBA and is very popular with players in the NBA. All 3 of my candidates is in the NBA. So first one is a very old guy. Played a long time ago. His name is Robert Parrish. So he won 3 NBA Cups and had to defeat Moses Malone and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to win, and had to guard them to win 2 of them. He was very tall and could easily dunk the ball. He's number 00, 00, just saying. And now my other 2 players that I will pick as my candidates. First one is going to be Russell Westbrook from the Oklahoma City Thunder, who still plays today. So Russell Westbrook. Oh wait, no, he's not in the Thunder. I can't remember. He went to Houston and he left, and I can't remember where he went. So he's a really good player, and that's really all I can say him. He's just really good and very popular. But now, drum roll please for the winner. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say it yet. My final candidate, Portland Trail Blazers guard and Rookie of the Year back when he entered into the league, Damian Lillard from the Portland Trail Blazers. So I know he's a Northwest guy, but if you see his highlights, he is really good. He keeps on making a bunch of half-court, and his skills of just driving into lane and his attitude of just simple and not getting too angry in his calm attitude is good, in which he led the Blazers with a bunch of half-court shots to the bubble and then to the playoffs as the 8th seed. So, yeah, he won Rookie of the Year, which is why he, in my opinion, is the best sports player to wear number 0. So that'll be it for another episode for the Northwest Sports Report podcast. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel at Northwest Sports Report to hear more news from around the Northwest. And leave a message here at anchor.fm/NW Sports Pod. You can also leave a comment down below on the YouTube page for this podcast on who do you think is the best player so far who wears number 0. We'll see you Tuesday, and who is the best player to wear number 1. I'm Joshua Ngo, and this has been the Northwest Sports Report podcast.